Accessible, not always. So here, how I deal with it. Have you ever turned up somewhere and thought this was supposed to be accessible, but the ramp is blocked, the footpath is too narrow, or the toilets are locked, or even worse, a step? Yeah, I've been there too. The truth is the world is still not built for accessibility, but we're not here to whinge about it. We're here to talk about how to deal with it practically, honestly, in a way that can actually work. All right, so let's kick things off with just getting around, navigating everyday spaces without turning into a mission. One of the best things that you can do is check ahead before you go somewhere new. Personally, I don't mess around with all the fancy accessible apps. I just jump onto Google Maps and use Street View. You can actually zoom right in and check the entrance to see if there are any stairs or if there's a ramp or even how wide the doorway looks. It's not perfect, but it gives you a decent idea of what you're walking into. And if it's not clear from that, just give the place a quick call and ask if there's step-free access, a lift, or even an accessible toilet. Most of the time, the staff will tell you straight up. Now, let's be honest, even with all that preparation, sometimes things still don't go to plan. So it's worth having a fallback. Maybe there's another entrance nearby, or you've got a mate that you can call if something is not right. And even if just giving yourself a little bit of extra time can help you deal with stuff without feeling rushed or stressed. It's not about having all things sorted. It's about giving yourself a smoother run through the day. So what if you already arrived and the place isn't accessible like you thought? Happens more than it should. But here is how to handle it without getting stuck or even frustrated. So some real world workarounds. So option one, don't be afraid to ask somebody for help who is nearby. It could be another staff member or it could be another customer. People are usually more willing to help than we give them credit for, especially if you just say straight up what you need. So option two, scope out another way in. Sometimes the front's a mess, but there's always a side door or even a back door and even a staff entrance or even an undercover access point that they just don't advertise. And honestly, it is worth asking. The amount of times that I've gone to places where I've had to go through the back door somewhere, that really does help. Option three is call the place from outside. I've done this. Sounds basic, but just ring the front desk and say, hey, I'm out the front and the access isn't working. Can somebody please come out? 9 times out of 10, they'll come out and show you a workaround. And option four, keep a short list of nearby places that you can easily access if one location turns out to be an absolute disaster. You've got a backup spot in mind without needing to start from everything from scratch. The point is you don't have to power through the hard way. There's always a smoother options. You just need to know how to spot them and ask. Ever been to a place that was meant to be accessible but wasn't? Drop your story in the comments below and I want to hear how you handle it. So let's talk about parking. Now let's talk about something that can even make your day or ruin it before it even starts. Parking, well, finding a decent spot shouldn't feel like winning the lottery, but that is exactly what it's like in a lot of places. If you've got a disability parking permit, you already know how often those bays are taken up by people who shouldn't be. It really is frustrating. And yeah, it happens way too often. But here is how I manage it. First, I plan ahead when you can. If you're heading somewhere new, jump on Google Street View and have a look around at the entrance. This is honestly such a great tool. You can usually look for spots in the parking bays and how close they are to the door. Second of all, again, call the venue. It's really quick to ask, do you have accessible parking near the entrance? Some places have hidden spots at the rear access that you won't find unless you ask. Third, have a backup spot in mind. If the disability bays are full or poorly placed, sometimes a regular spot with more space around it, like at the end row, can be a better option, especially if you're using a ramp or need room to open the doors wide. And look, if someone's parked where they shouldn't be, you've got every right to report it. But sometimes it isn't about choosing your battles. It's about finding the next best option. All right, so let's talk about one of the biggest wildcards when you're out and about is accessible toilets. Now, you'd think in 2025, this wouldn't still be a problem, right? But it is. You get to this venue and the door doesn't open wide enough, the lock's busted, or the whole thing is shut for cleaning. And of course, most disabled toilets, they have those rooms full of their own equipment as a storage room. Yeah, I have been caught out like that many, many times. So here, what I've learned that actually helps. First of all, check out the location before you go. And again, this is why I keep saying it. Call ahead and ask about the access. Don't just ask if you have an accessible toilet. Go into details and ask if there's a step free and if the doorway is wide enough, because some buildings, the doors are not wide enough. And more importantly, is it unlocked during the hours that you'll actually be there? You'll be surprised how many places forget to mention that part. And second, bring your own basics. I'll always carry a little bag with me, nothing fancy, just the essentials, like toilet paper, a couple of hand wipes, gloves, and a MLAK key. Have you ever heard of a MLAK key? That's short for Master Locksmith's Access Key. It unlocks accessible toilets in heaps of public spots around Australia. And honestly, that key has saved me so many times I've lost count. And if you rock up and something is not working, don't be shy to ask the staff members for help. Find a staff member and tell them what's wrong. And most people, they will honestly try to help you figure it out. So there you have it. There's a couple of quick tips that I suggest. The main point is call ahead. Always give the venue a call so you have a proper understanding of what services and accessibility options that they have. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.